This is a 5th grade science lesson for engineering design. It's called Getting Your Head 3D Printed, and it really is just an introduction to what 3D printing is and what it can be used for. So to get things started, the bell ringer activity, it's a poll here, a number poll. So which items are things that can be printed? Choose all numbers that apply. So after the teacher sends it as a poll and the students respond with their poll answers, you can click the arrow to go to an answer card, click the X to reveal the answer, and all of those things can be printed. Some of these items can be printed with a regular 2D printer, while others can be printed with a 3D printer. So we have pictures here of all the different things that can be printed with a 2D printer versus a 3D printer. On the black pull tabs, we just have definitions for 2D and 3D. Okay, now we're going to go down to the objective, which for this lesson states, we will read an article about 3D printing in order to explain how it is done and what it is used for. Okay, so this card presents some background knowledge. Before the background knowledge is actually revealed, the teacher should ask what exactly is 3D printing and just see what the students have to say. Once the discussion portion is over, the teacher can click the little icon there and the background information will be presented. And to accompany the background information, there's a video on the student card from KQED with an actual demonstration of a 3D printer in work. So it's pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to stop it there and move on to the next card. We've got some more background information, just some facts about 3D printing. And then a discussion card. Why do you think someone would use a 3D printer? This can be sent as a word seed card, so students can respond with, a couple of phrases, sentences, short responses though, that can be discussed with the whole group. Then we're going to move on to the next card, which is a think about it card. Now we're getting into what the article is going to be about. Would you ever let someone 3D print your head? Why or why not? Click the arrow to read about someone who did just that. Find out how they did it, as well as the other cool things 3D printers are capable of doing. So this card can be sent as a yes/no poll, just to ask the question, discuss the answer. After that has been done, the teacher can click the arrow, which will take the class to the article. So the article can be read together as a class. It also can be independent. It depends on what the teacher would like to do, but the directions state to read it together as a class. And as they read, they're supposed to be thinking about answering two specific questions. How is 3D printing done, and what is 3D printing used for? Those questions will be addressed after they read the article. So the next card is the review card. How is 3D printing done? So as they were reading, they should have been thinking about the process. Now, the students will get this card. And here they're going to sequence the steps of a 3D print job. So, let's see. If you drag There we go. So when you drag the numbers to the correct box, you get a bell sound. When you drag them to an incorrect box, you get a buzzer sound. Okay, so there we go. On the next card, we have an answer key. If you click the X, it will reveal the answers, the correct sequence for the print job. The next card is the second question that they should have been thinking about as they were reading. What is 3D printing used for? And on the student card, they get a chance to respond. They're going to write a paragraph to explain how 3D printing is being used and use evidence from the text to support their answer. And as a review of the answer, there's an answer key here. So this just kind of explains what their paragraph should include based on what was in the article, and then actual evidence is cited here from the article. The next part of the activity is the Let's Investigate activity, and it is a web quest. So students are going to be sent to the KQED website via the student card here, and they're going to answer these 3 questions to find out other ways that 3D printing is being used. And then to kind of close up the instruction section here, they're going to do a poll, a scale poll. So based on what you've learned about 3D printing technology, how important do you think it will be in the future and why? So they're going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5, and each number has an explanation underneath. And then they're going to discuss why they feel it's going to be important or not important. And then as the closure, we have just a fun fact here, something else that was pulled from KQED about UC Berkeley with their 3D printing vending machine, which is pretty cool. And since the 3D printing vending machine is accessible by anyone can print anything, the final question for the lesson is, what would you print? If you could 3D print anything, what would you print and why? And then students on the student card, they're going to kind of synthesize everything that they've learned in this lesson. They're going to describe the item that they would print, but they're also going to explain how they would print it, how they would use it in the real world, and how it could affect the world in the future. And then at the end of the lesson, we have an assessment, which we'll just preview briefly here on the student view. If it will load. There we go. So according to the passage, what can be done with 3D printing? They have the passage listed there, and then they have the questions down at the bottom. Food, dental crowns, jewelry, all of the above. Okay. What does a 3D printer use to print 3D objects? Filament, submit. The author of the passage is told to place her head into the glass enclosed 3D printer box in order to create the print. True or false? Okay, so we get the gist of it. So we're going to stop the assessment, and the lesson is complete.